Let's go. Hey you guys, it's MJ and welcome back to Pet Adventures again. So today I am going to talk about something that really has been needing to be addressed, that I took a very long time to address with my channel. It is regarding my ratties and why I don't talk about them anymore, why I haven't really said anything about rats or anything regarding my rats or anything regarding rat care in general and all that good stuff. I want to finally address to the subscribers that may be curious about it, may be curious why I don't show my rats anymore. I have addressed this on a lot of live streams, but I thought it was time to make a full-on video about it. That way, all my subscribers definitely see it, because I know only a few of you guys come to my live streams here and there, but it is more likely that everyone will understand if I make a video about it. Hopefully, at least. So yeah, we're gonna get down to it now. So you can stop worrying and stop asking me and stop bringing it up, to be honest, because I'm sick of y'all bringing it up. Because it brings up some bad memories, if I'm being honest. So yeah. And before I officially start this video, like always, please check the links down below, because we have all our social medias down there, down below, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Really, just do it, because honestly, like, I need y'all's support, okay? I need to know you guys are on board and we're on the same page. So subscribe. So I know you guys are probably wondering what happened to my ratties, and today I do want to address that. So firstly, all my rats are gone. Yeah, it's sad for me to say. Sometimes I kind of laugh in front of people when I'm talking about something sad, because I don't really know how to address sad stuff. I mean, sometimes I just can't hold the tears back, but you know, because I get emotional. But I definitely I don't know how to talk about like touchy subjects around. And it's not just with you guys, it's in general. When I talk about touchy-feely things in my life with people, like I don't really know how to act, so I kind of laugh it off a little bit, because otherwise it's a little awkward. But I do want to talk about my ratties have all passed away. To be honest, like, if you want to stop the video here right now because you finally got your answer, by all means do that, but I would like to explain it a little bit further than that. So I had all my rats for an entire period, I think, of their life. I think Lucky might have lived a slightly shorter life, but I had 3 rats. All of you guys know that I had 3 rats, right? I had Lucky, I had Charlie, and I had Oscar. All boys, only 2 of them lived together, and Lucky was the one that lived separately. So in case you guys don't remember, Lucky was my very first rat. If you guys saw Rat Care, my very popular video, Rat Care 101, if you guys saw that, you'll see all the rats that I did have previously. They were all so cute and cuddly. That was 2 years ago, okay? And I had them a little bit longer before, you know, 2 years, you know? So when you guys saw those rats, I had them previously, before I even made Pet Adventures. I still had those rats. Okay, so by recently they passed away. It was a few months back, and I didn't want to make a video about it at the time, because the thing is if you make a video right when that animal dies, you are emotional. When you make a video about it a few months later, it's okay. Like, it's not so bad. You're not as emotional over it because you've done all your grieving, you know? So that's why I didn't make a video about it. I didn't even like talking about it on live streams, but a lot of you guys kept bringing it up, and I didn't want to just ignore your comments on my live streams, so I didn't, you know, I had to tell you guys. And I don't feel terrible or anything, because I know that all those rats died of old age. Lucky was the oldest, he died first, and then Oscar, he got something, and then 1 month after, Charlie died. So I don't know what Lucky exactly passed from. What's crazy is when Lucky died, I wasn't expecting him to die. He was old, but he was old and he lived alone, unfortunately, so that deducts life. life expectancy. And just so you guys know, I only had Lucky alone because I had no other choice. I was constantly trying to get him, like the only reason why I got Charlie is so that Lucky could have a friend. But he really couldn't be with other rats. And I couldn't keep putting my rats in a position where every time I would put them together, they would fight, and Lucky wouldn't cooperate with them, okay? It wasn't like, oh, they just fought a little bit. Like, no, when I would put him with another rat, blood was always drawn. There were always wounds. There were always scars that had to heal after he met them. How many times was I gonna have to stress out my rats before he got comfortable with them? I don't know. And when a rat is that aggressive with other rats, I just don't trust him alone with them. I wouldn't be able to leave my house and have them all in the same cage. It wouldn't have been realistic for me. So as much as I wanted Lucky to have socialization with other rats, sometimes you just have that oddball. Charlie and Oscar were perfect for each other. They loved being together. And the only reason why I ended up getting 3 rats was because I knew right off the bat that Charlie was gonna be a social rat. I could tell that he did not have any similarities with Lucky. He had no aggression signs. So I said, yeah, he definitely is gonna be able to have a ratty friend. And if it all fails, I will just send that rat back. Luckily, I didn't have to. He got on really well with Oscar after like 2 weeks. So yeah, just a side backstory on all my rats there. I loved having my rats. They were amazing. They really helped me in so many ways. I know that sounds crazy because people will just think, oh, they're just rats. But I loved having them in my life. They were, now that they're gone, I can definitely say, out of all my smaller animals that I have, you know, like not including my cats, they were probably my favorite. After them being gone, they probably were my favorite out of all my pets because they were very social with me. I bonded with them, they bonded with me, they were very clinging to me. As you guys know, if you're a rat owner, every time you come back from work or from school, they get excited. They literally, what I loved about rats is they weren't the type of animal that wasn't willing to hang out with you when you wanted to hang out with them. Rats are the type of animal where like, it doesn't matter what time of the day it is. If you want to play with them, they will play with you because they love social interaction that much. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hmm? What? Hmm? What? What? No, don't freak out. 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 What? Death stare. Okay. All right. All right. All right. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Yeah. None of that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, you gotta go, because that is gonna bug me throughout this whole video. No. Done. We're done. Not where my coffee is, man. No. So yeah, where I'm going with all this is I loved my rats. I loved my time with them. They had basically a full life. They had the best life that I could provide for them. And like I also said, Lucky did not live as long as the others because he did live alone, and there's nothing I could really do about that. He was just an aggressive rat. And yeah, I could have fixed them and maybe it would have worked, but it is what it is, and the past is the past, and there's nothing I can do about that now. So now, fast forward like a year or two with my rats, what happened was I noticed that for a long time, Oscar, over time, he was just declining with his weight. Sometimes he would gain weight, then he would lose weight, then gain, then lose. It was back and forth, you know? It was back and forth. Like Jonah Hill, back and forth with the weight. No. Sorry. scratch that. Scratch that. But yeah, his weight was declining back and forth, so that was kind of an issue. Overall, that wasn't the main thing that killed him. Well, not killed, I don't want to say killed, but I don't know. That wasn't the main thing to why he passed. So the reason why he passed is at a certain age, if your rats are really old and they don't get all the exercise they need properly, they eventually get this problem where in their back, like their legs kind of just start to like not be of use anymore. And the only way you can prolong this from happening is if they get a lot of exercise when they're old. However, this happens when they're old regardless. So what happened was Oscar's legs eventually just got old. That's all I can really say. His back legs started to give out a little bit, and I actually took him to the vet for this, and they gave me like antibiotics, and there was nothing he really could do. That's what my vet told me. But it was just something that kind of came with age, and I gave him the best life I could. I started, now around this time, Lucky was already gone. But, and again, I don't know if I finished that off, but I don't really know exactly why Lucky died. I literally just came to his cage and he was gone. I guess he looked like he died resting. Like, it didn't look like it was a painful death or anything. So that was kind of a good thing. Lucky had a very peaceful death. Again, I don't know where it really came from, but he just passed. I came to his cage one day and he just passed. If he had anything wrong with him, he was definitely hiding it well, because I didn't notice much. But I did know that Oscar was gonna eventually go. So that whole leg thing happened with him. I had to start putting him in a smaller cage and then have Charlie visit him back and forth, because he couldn't be in a taller cage anymore, because he had already had some damage to his legs and he couldn't really jump anymore and stuff like that. So over time, don't you hate when I do stuff like this? Always touching my face and my ears. So cringy. Yeah, but over time, that's what happened with him. So 1 month later after he passes away from that very thing, 1 month later Charlie passes away. Okay? Literally, passes away 1 month later. So I knew this was gonna happen. My husband kept telling me like, oh, get Charlie a friend, I feel so bad for him. But like, no, I knew right away that Charlie was not gonna be living much longer. And he's like, oh, he's fine, Charlie's fine. I knew something would happen. What's crazy is after Oscar passed away, Charlie got the same exact thing. His legs started giving out due to old age. I don't know why it happened around the same time. That was a little weird for me. I can't explain that. But my guess is, and this was my husband's guess as well, is that basically after Oscar passed away, Charlie no longer had exercise. Any exercise he did was with Oscar, running around the cage and keeping each other active. So when Oscar passed away, Charlie didn't get that, and he was also just depressed. Of course, he lived his life with Oscar, and when that was over, there was no exercising anymore, and there was no cuddles in the middle of the night, in the middle of the day, whatever. You know, it just wasn't the same anymore. So what's crazy is I had to put Charlie down, which was the saddest thing for me. If you go to my Instagram right now, I have a highlighted video on losing Charlie, on bringing him to the vet's office and just losing my crap. I'm telling you, I lost it. Like, it was the saddest thing I've never had to put an animal down. So going to the vet and knowing right then and there what is going to happen, and knowing that this is technically my choice, even though I didn't really feel like I had a choice, was the saddest thing ever. Because the thing with Charlie is he got the same thing that Oscar did, but it was 100 times worse, because he was having this breathing issue with it where like he wasn't breathing right, and he was like literally constantly like that. So it was heartbreaking, and this sounds bad, but every day I would come back from work, I would just hope that he had passed away. because I wanted either two things. I wanted for him to either get completely better and a miracle would happen, or I wanted him to just pass away, like right away. And it just didn't seem like that was going to happen, and I couldn't just keep waiting for Charlie to pass on. So I took him to the vet because I wanted to end his suffering as much as possible. And keep in mind, I did not, even though I scheduled to have him put down, I didn't go in just for putting him down. I also asked the doctor to check him and make sure that, ask if there's anything we can do before you actually put him down. And he did say no, and he said it was just his time. And luckily I have an amazing vet. Him and his staff were super sweet about the whole thing. They were so supportive, and they were just like, they were so there for me. It made me feel so much more comfortable about like crying my eyes out over there. That was the saddest part of it. The saddest part of the whole thing for me, because first of all, that was the last rat I had of the bunch, okay? These were all my first pairs of rats I had ever had in my lifetime, and it was the saddest thing because I had to go put him down, and on top of that, he was my last rat. So all of that put together was traumatizing. I want you guys to really set that in your mind. It was traumatizing for me. It was. I'm just being straight with you guys here, 100% real. It was traumatizing for me. I could not talk about it at the time because first of all, that is my choice. And second of all, it was traumatic. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe how torn up I was over it. And I remember always telling myself, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do and my rats all die. And I could not and will not be getting any rats anytime in the future. I will at some point in the future. Did I say anytime in the future? Sorry. But I will not be getting them anytime soon in the future, okay? It's gonna be years. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. And if you only watch me for my rats, cool, fine, whatevs. That's what you wanna do, that's what you wanna do. But I'm not getting new rats or new mice just for who? I'm not getting them for subscribers. I'm not getting them for views, okay? Because I don't need to do that. Because animals are not here for that. If you see someone out there getting a new pet right after they lost that specific type of pet, then they never cared about that pet in the first place. You should at least take some time to grieve over that pet, I can't understand. And I've been one of those people where I get a new pet, and I get that sometimes you get that same type of pet, like you lose a mouse, you get another mouse. I understand that sometimes you get a new pet because it fills the void. But here's the thing, okay? If you love that pet a lot, like a whole lot, like all the way up here, which it was like that for me and all my rats, when you get a pet and the level of bonding and love and everything you have for that pet is way up here, you're not gonna get a new pet. It's just not gonna happen. If you loved that pet, but you are like, you're sad and you want a new one, that's why people get a new pet, because they never really cared a whole lot for that pet, so they want a new one to kind of replace that mild emptiness they feel. But if it's a traumatic experience and you really truly love that pet, you're not getting one the next day. It's not supposed to be like that. And this goes not just for pets, but like it goes for any human being in your life too. Like, you shouldn't be getting over the death of someone important to you in your life in just a year, or even just 10 years. Even 10 years is still a person that you loved, is a person that you loved in your life. You're never really gonna get over it, to be honest. But I'm just saying that I actually cared about those animals and I actually loved them, and there's no way I'm just gonna get over them just like that. Okay? It's just not gonna happen. Will I get other pets? Sure. But will I be getting rats? No. Because that would be insinuating that I'm trying to replace my rats right away, and I'm not doing that too soon. And again, if you don't like it, that's okay. You don't have to watch. But I'm not replacing my little ratties just because because other people want me to. If I want me to, then that is my decision. So this goes out to any of you guys. If you lose a pet and you don't feel up to getting a new pet, don't let anybody tell you to get a new pet. Okay? Because that is your decision. Also, don't let anybody tell you that you can't grieve for a certain amount of time over a pet. It is in your time. I don't care if you have a rat that you loved and you grieve about it for a freaking year or two, okay? Or 10 years. I don't care, because that is on your time. Grieving is on your time, and that is how it always should be. And don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. So that is my Pet Adventures MJ rant. I am so sorry for all the ranting, but I just want to be perfectly clear why I don't have ratties anymore and why I will not be having any ratties in the future anytime soon. But I will probably have ratties in the future at some point, just not anytime soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too ranty, okay? But I had to be real with you guys, be straight with you guys like I always am, okay? I don't sugarcoat things all the time, all right? When I need to be real, I need to be real, you know? So I'll see you guys next time. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and give this video a big thumbs up, especially if you love pets. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!